Shalom, family. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from YAHUAH. He's our Father. And YAHUSHA. He's our Mashayah. You know, the one that carries the burden of Yah. His voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yesharel. YAHUAH, our mighty one, he is one. This is Brother David coming to you again to bring you YAHUAH. He is the master of time. Follow him only. I have a question for you. Can the Gentiles go up in the heavens and change the order of things? The answer is no. Then why are you following them when they are changing the order of the sun, the moon, and the stars on paper? Does that make sense to you? The Father has created these lights, these heavenly bodies that are in the heavens, so that you can tell time. And the only reason that we go wrong is because we're following the ways of the Gentiles. In Jubilees it says, all, not some, all the children of Yesharel will go wrong and will not be able to find the new moons and the Sabbaths and the feasts. All of us. That's a simple correction for us. The only reason we cannot find the Father's days is because we're following the Gentiles. Now let's move away from them and follow Yah only. Let's begin. Henuk, chapter 74, verses 9 to 11. Did you know that the Gentiles say that the book of Henuk is apocryphal? How did they come to that conclusion? They said it did not match their biblical canon. What does that mean? It means it doesn't match their Christian doctrine? Yeah. What gave them the right to be the persons to say which book is inspired and which book is not? Alexander the Great came into the East in 332 BCE with a band of homo thugs, raping and pillaging as they go. Alexander the Great died. The kingdom was split between 4 generals. Antiochus Epiphanes was the one who controlled the promised land from Syria. He came down to the south, to where our temple is, and he murdered the last of the Zadok priesthood. They wouldn't bow to him. Then they went in the temple. They sacked it. They even stripped the gold off the walls. They took all of the goodly things. They took the Torah scrolls. They even took the other books out of the temple, which included the book of Henuk. Then they told the children of Yashar to go gather all of their books, to gather all of their parchments, and come and put them in the middle of the street. And we're going to set a bonfire and burn them up. Sounds familiar? Same thing happened in Nazi Germany. There's nothing new under the sun. Then he had all of the books himself. Now let's fast forward. Maybe 1800 years later, when they were compiling all of these books to put them into the Bible. And they came across this book of Hanuk. And they had to make a decision, because the book of Hanuk did not match their Christian canon or the doctrines in which they added into the New Testament. So they had to be taken out. The book of Hanuk told you what the fallen angels' children look like. The skin was as white as snow, yet red as a rose. Their eyes glorious. Yeah, they had long hair. Oh no, we can't leave that in there. Now we have to label it apocryphal. Then they said that the book of Hanuk is only dated back to 300 BCE. The book of Hanuk came way before that. Thousands of years, right? Why did they say it only goes back to 300 BCE? Because that's when they came into the promised land. To the victor goes the spoils. And he rewrites history in his own image. This book also did not line up with the way that they counted the days. So they had to omit it. Verse 9. Thus I saw their position, how the moons rose and the sun set in those days. Verse 10. And if 5 years are added together with the sun, it has an overplus of 30 days. And all the days which accrue to it for one, just one now, of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. Verse 11. And the overplus of the sun and of the stars amount to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days, every year, come to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. Every year the sun has an overplus of 6 days. Yeah. 5 times 6 equals 30. And the moon will fall behind the sun in the amount of 30 days in 5 years. Do you know what's happening here? Hanuk is showing you hidden knowledge that was only meant for you, for a righteous race that would arise in the last days. You. Did you know from creation, the sun and the moon both had the same amount of days? 354 for the sun and 354 for the moon. So you go to the sun after the first year as it came around with the overplus. You add 6 days to 354. What do you get? 360 days. Hey, Brother David, what happened to the other 4 days? They are called the intercalary days. They're not reckoned in the reckoning of the year, but they are added by the Alayam, the leaders of the stars. And they are placed wherever YAHUAH ordains them to go. So if you add the 6 plus the 4 to the 354, you have 364 days. Wow. Let's continue. Verse 12. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity. Do you understand that? There is no change in the sun and the stars. The only one that changes is the moon. Why is that, Brother David? Because the moon has your days on it. But complete the years, the solar year, with perfect justice in 364 days. Verse 13. In 3 years, there are 1,092 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,820 days. So that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. Verse 14. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1062. I want you to take 1062 and I want you to add 30 days to it. How much would you come to? 1092. So the moon falls behind the sun in 3 years to the amount of 30 days. And in 5 years, she, Asanya, the moon, falls 50 days behind. Verse 15. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days. You can add this up, 354 times 5. So that for the moon, the days in 8 years amount to 2,832 days. Verse 16. And all the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. You see that? Every year it loses 10 days. Verse 17. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun rises and sets for 30 days. Hanuk is just giving you the path of years. He's telling you how it works. You can compare this to astronomy today, and you'll find it's the same thing, except they tell you that the moon falls behind the sun in the amount of 11 days every year. Why did they do that? Because the Europeans added a day and a quarter to the year. Hanuk, chapter 75, verses 1 to 2. Verse 1. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days. Remember we just spoke about that? The surplus of 6 days from the sun every year, plus the 4 intercalary days, makes your year, solar year, 364 days. Being inseparable from their office, according to the reckoning of the year, and these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. So you see, these 4 days are not reckoned. But the leaders of the heads of thousands place the intercalary days where they are ordained to go. Verse 2. And owing to them, men go wrong therein. You see that? They've already messed up your path of years by adding a day and a quarter. For those luminaries, we're talking the sun, the moon, and the stars, they've already messed them up by adding their 13th months and their adjustments. Truly render service on the world stations, 1 in the first portal, 1 in the third portal of the heaven, 1 in the 4th portal, and 1 in the 6th portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations, which are 364 days. So Hanuk has given us hidden knowledge. This was written for a righteous race that would arise in the last days, that would find their way back to YAHUAH, that would no longer follow the feast of the Gentiles, but will find a path that leads to life. In 2019, we found the path of years. How did we find it? We were looking. We were searching in the daytime with a floodlight, looking for Yah's days. Do you know anyone else that was doing that? What does 2019 represent for us? The end of our 400-year captivity. Yeah. Once your captivity is over, what's the first thing that you have to free from the captives? You have to free their mind. Isn't that true? Or else they're still a slave. In 2019, the Father gave us a perfect alignment. The moon came in 10 days before the spring equinox. Absolute perfection. No one that I know of has ever seen it or even looked for it before. But it just fell right into our laps. In 2019, the Jews were 1 day ahead of us, but they made an adjustment on their calendar and added a 13th month. And they said that the barley harvest was not right. I asked many questions that year. Could you show me, please, where the statute is that you are to make an adjustment or add a 13th month to the calendar if the barley harvest is not right? No one could show me. I went to the rabbis, and I thought they knew. They told me that the calculations have to be made in Jerusalem, so they really couldn't explain it to me. And I says, how can that be? If the Father put his time in the sky for the whole world to see. Everyone should be able to easily calculate his Sabbaths and his feast days. I mean, am I right? But listen to what they were telling us in all reality when they said that the barley harvest was not right. They were telling you straight to your face that they are not Yah's chosen people and they are imposters. Because once the children of Yasharal return to the land, it'll be like a Garden of Eden. And the Father said that he would pour out his rains in its due seasons. So if he did not pour out his rain for them, now you know, for a true fact, they're not the children of Yasharal. So after 2019, when we had our perfect alignment, 10 days before the spring equinox, we started the rest of our years. And in 2022, 3 years would have passed since 2019. Let me give you the years so you can know what years we're speaking of. 2020, 2021, and 2022 is right around the corner. That would be 3 years. How many days would we have moved away from the spring equinox in 3 years? If you said 30 days, you are correct. Remember in 2019, we already had a perfect alignment. The moon was 10 days away from the spring equinox. So if you add 2020, 2021, and 2022 to the calculation, you have 40 days exactly. So if we have this thing right, if we have followed the book exactly, if we have not added to or taken away, we are supposed to find 40 days before the spring equinox in 2022. Let's begin our count. The new moon came out in the evening of February 2nd in 2022. We're looking forward to it. Which makes New Moon's Day February 3rd. From this day, see on the calendar here on the bottom, you are to count to the end of the month. If you start counting from Thursday the 3rd, which is New Moon's Day, which is day 1, you will come to 28, and that would be 26 days. Then we proceed to the second month, which is March 2022. From the prior month, which was February 2022, we had 26 days. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the 4 is highlighted? 4 plus 26 equals 30 days. Very good. So we found 30 days. Now we have to find 10 more days. Let's see if we can find that. From 5, which is number 1, if you count 10 days, you will come to number 14. Go ahead, do the math right now. Okay, so now you add the 30 days from before plus the 10 days. How many days do you have? 40. When will the spring equinox occur? in 2022. They said it will occur on March 20th. Brother David, between the 14th and the 20th, I see that there's 5 days there. If you add that to the equation, you got 45 days. How do you account for that? Very easy. How many days does Hanuk say that a solar year has? If you said 364 days, you are correct. He said you must complete the year in perfect justice for 364 days. Then he told you that the Gentiles, they were going to change this. How did they change it? Their year is 365 and a quarter days. I think you guys should know that by now, right? Okay, so we have 3 years unaccounted for. What years are those? 2020, 2021, and 2022, which is right around the corner, soon to come. So right away, we have to take away from 3 years, 3 days, and 3 quarters. Am I correct? Yes. So that would take away 15, 16, 17, and on 18 would be 3 quarters of a day. Hey, Brother David, 19 is still there. You still have a day unaccounted for. Oh, yes, that's right. In 2020, they added a leap day. You know, they put it at the end of February. In 2020, it didn't have 28 days in February. It had 29. So they added another day to the equation. So there goes number 19. Where do you end up? On the 20th. How many of you see that? How can this be that we have been able to accurately calculate just from using the book and looking up in the sky 40 days that the moon has moved away from the sun since 2019? We have the path of years. Do you know anyone else who knows this path? This is why you must immerse yourself in it. Learn everything you can about it. Your salvation is up in the sky. Everyone, the whole world can see it. The only reason that they have been able to run this scam on you and make fools out of us for all of these years is because we didn't have any knowledge. Our people perish for lack of knowledge. And if you refuse this knowledge, brothers and sisters, you will also be refused. And your children. Hey, Brother David. My name is the Comment Board Demon. Okay, you got the 4 days and 3 quarters. How do you account for that extra quarter? Wow. I brought you this close. And yet there's still someone who is railing about the extra quarter of a day. let's account for that too. How many hours is the time difference from here in Florida to the Promised Land? The Promised Land is 6 hours ahead of us, which means the spring equinox will occur 6 hours before it hits America. How long is a quarter of a day? 6 hours. So we have accounted for all of the time here. Isn't this amazing? The only way that you can get any count like this that lines up exactly with the book is if you're doing it exactly the way the Father says it should be done. You did not add to, nor did you take away from anything that is written. Did we go beyond what is written, Brother David? No, we did not. Show this to anyone. Share this with everyone. This is the path of years that the book says that we, the children of Yisrael, would not find. And the only reason we wouldn't find it, because we were following the feast of the Gentiles. Now let me show you the Gentiles' date. I'm not going to show you our brothers, IUIC, GOCC, and all the rest of the Israelite brothers. The reason I'm not going to show you that is because the Europeans have us in the matrix, but the Israelite brothers will have you in the twilight zone. So let's deal with the people who really have legitimacy on the world stage. Anytime you go to the Google machine and you type in Passover for any given year, the first persons that are going to show up are the Jews. You won't see the Israelite brothers, you won't see me. The Jews are the dominant factor when it comes to these equations. So let's see what they said about 2022. All right. Pesach, which is Passover, for 2022, falls out at sundown on Friday, April 15th, and ends at nightfall on April 23rd. All right, we got that. So in order to find the beginning of their month, you have to count backwards, don't you? Yeah. And when you count backwards from the 15th, you're going to come to the 2nd, because it starts the 14th day in the evening, and the 15th would be 16. You got me? I hope you understand all of these equations from all these years that we've been adding these numbers, right? So if you count backwards, the beginning of the month for them would be April 2nd. Now, with all I just taught you, all that Hinnock has said, all that Jubilees even says, tell me something. What is wrong with this equation? Very few will understand. The moon moves away from the sun in the amount of 10 days every year. Hanuk said it. I've said it. Jubilees said it. And guess what? Even science will tell you the same thing. Except for science, we'll say 11 days instead of 10 because the Europeans added an extra day to the calendar. An extra day and a quarter, that is. So tell me, what is wrong with this equation? They are actually starting 11 or 12 days after the spring equinox. What is this? This is who we've been following. Their calculations has nothing biblical to do with it. It's more demonic than anything else. Why are they doing something like this? Because they work for a different boss. They serve a different mighty one. Their mighty one says that he would give them the world if they kept this scam going. He would give them legitimacy. They would wipe out all of the information about how to count the days. That's why you cannot find the book of Enoch in your Bibles today. You can actually take the book of Enoch and go outside every day and compare it to what you're seeing in the sky, and you will see that it is accurate to the letter. Then you can take the book of Enoch and compare it to science, and you will see that it is accurate to the letter, but yet the Jews have ignored what the book says, haven't they? How did they arrive at this date? Well, they just added another 13th month to the calendar. 2022 means they have to add their additional month. Did you know that? Let's go back. In March 14th, 2021, this is where they were at on the 14th. In a perfect world, if they were following the book, if they were following science, they would have moved backwards, wouldn't they? They would have probably been someplace like the 4th or the 5th to start their month for 2022. But instead, they went ahead and they're starting it on the 2nd of April in 2022. Okay, let's see how many days. If you count from 14 to 31, you're going to have 18 days. When you count the 1st of April also, that is 19 days. Brother David, I thought you just told us that they added a 13th month to the calendar again this year. Yeah. But a 13th month is not really a 13th month. It's just a bunch of calculations. Why are they using these calculations? Because they have to be lined up with the Christian church. Did you know that? Easter has to fall out in April because the church uses a sun calendar and they start from the 21st to calculate their year. The Jews have to come back to a point so that their Easter celebration can land in April. Did you guys know that? See, it's all a scam to try to bring legitimacy to the church and to the Jews. Listen to this. Watch this. Could the Messiah have been resurrected on Easter before he died on the tree? No. So they have to wait till the Jews give their calculation so that they can give their days, which will be in April. Now do you see what this whole scam is about? It is a collaboration of demons and devils in two of the biggest religions in the world, Judaism and Christianity. Now do you see why the Father waited till this time, when knowledge is greatly increased, in order to open the minds of his people, to set the captive free? Free the mind, and the butt will follow. Now you see who they are. Maybe you understand. Jubilees, chapter 6, verses 34 to 35. Verse 34. Listen. And all the children of Yasharel will forget and will not find the path of years. All of us, it said. Was it true? Of course it's true. But he must have given us a way to come back to him in these last days, right? So what is it that we must do to find the path of years? Let's continue to read. And they will forget the new moons. Did we forget that? Yes. The seasons. Did we forget that? Yes. The Sabbaths. Did we forget that? Yes. We were having our Sabbaths fixed on a Gregorian calendar Saturday. And they will go wrong. Hold it 1 second. That sounds familiar. Didn't Hanuk say the same thing in Hanuk chapter 75? That they will go wrong because they were going to make adjustments as to all the order of the years? You will never find a path that leads to the Most High if you follow them. 35. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto you. And it is not of mine own devising, for the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the vision of days are ordained. Who's speaking here? This is Hanuk. Lest they forget the feasts of the covenant and walk according to the feasts of the Gentiles after their error and after their ignorance. Do you see this word ignorance? It means ignore. What did they ignore? They ignored the book. Totally. They've even ignored science. They're adding 13th month to the calendars. They're doing all kinds of things. And you didn't know because you don't have any knowledge. Now, how can we correct this? Very simple. Let's read this again in 34. And all the children of Yasharel will forget and will not find the path of years. How can we find the path of years? Not to follow the feast of the Gentiles after their error and after their ignorance. If you follow those Jews and even those Israelite brothers, you're going to be in error because they're following the feast of the Gentiles. The Israelite brothers? Yes. They keep their Sabbaths on Saturday, and they add 13th months. Who controls the rain? Job, chapter 5, verse 10. Who giveth rain upon the earth? Job is asking you a question. Can you answer that? Hey, hold it. Did not the Jews say in 2019 that the barley harvest wasn't ripe? Isn't it obvious they didn't get any rain in its due season? Listen to what the Father says. When his people return, he's going to give them the rains in their due season. It's obvious now that they are not his people, isn't it? Okay. How many tribes do you see in the land? One. They called themselves Judah. What happened to the rest of the tribes? The Father said that he would bring all of the tribes in the gathering with the strangers and the eunuchs. What happened to the rest of the tribes? Here's another question. Have you seen the Messiah, the Messiah? Have you seen him come lately or in 1940s? Did you see anything like that? Did you hear about it? It would have been the biggest event ever happened. The answer is no. So who brought them in the land? The Balfour Agreement. Gentiles bringing Gentiles into the land. It's a collaboration between Jew and Christian. And who sendeth waters upon the fields? Well, it's obvious that in 2019, Yah did not send any waters upon their fields. Did you know that they're using irrigation over there? Aquifers? Water that's underground? That's how they're creating this illusion? Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 22. Listen to Yahweh Yahu. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that can cause rain? Preach, Yahweh Yahu. Or can the heavens give showers? Is there a such thing as Mother Nature? The answer is no. That is Greek mythology. Art not thou he? O Yahuwah, our Eluah? Yahweh Yahu has just told you that the only person that can give the rains is he. What if he withholds the rain? Because his people are not in the land. The land was cursed right alongside of us. When we were evicted, the land was already powder and dust. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to bring that lunar event back to the spring equinox so that they can have some legitimacy. But yet they're still not receiving any rain. YAHUAH has withheld it. They can add all the calculations. They can add all of the 13th months. Still not going to work out for them. Because all of the promises, all of the blessings have only been prepared for you. Listen to this. Because you understand who is in control of the heavens, who is in control of the earth, who has all power in his hands, YAHUAH, our mighty one. Listen to what Yahweh is saying to you. Therefore, we will wait upon YAHUAH. You're not in the land. Why are you making adjustments? If my people, who are called by my name, they will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then and only then will they hear from heaven. I'll forgive their sins. Yes, he will. And heal the land. The land is cursed still to this day, and it will not be healed until we return. Listen to what else Yahu is saying. For thou hast made all these things. He is the master of time. He is the one who can open the portals with the 12 windows. And he can bring in the heat, the dew, and the rain in his season. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 14. That I, who's I? YAHUAH, will give you as a pronoun. It describes a person, place, or thing. Who is it describing? If you go back to Deuteronomy, you will find that he's only speaking to the children of Yasharal. He is not speaking to the children of Israel. I, said YAHUAH, will give the children of Yasharal, when they return, the rain of your land in his due season. Not the Gentiles. Not according to their vanities. You have to wait till you get in the land and wait upon YAHUAH to bless you. But you want to bypass that and follow all of the deceptions of your captors. The first rain, the first month, and the latter rain. That's the 6th month. That thou mayest gather in thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil. Listen to me. The only way this can happen is if the Father makes the adjustment in the sky. It's not going to be done on the sun and the stars, for they shall stay the same for an eternity. But it's going to happen on the moon. That's where the adjustment will be, so that you can bring the rain in his due season. Can you do that? Can you control those bodies in the sky? Can you make them come in accurately year to year? The equations are enormous. That's why you don't make any adjustments. You just wait on him who controls the heavens. Job chapter 38, verse 31. Listen to these questions. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? That's a constellation. That's in the heavens. Listen to me, Gentiles. Can you do that? Or loose the cords of Orion? No, you can't do that. The only thing that you can do is commit fraud and make it seem that you can change times and seasons with paper. Job chapter 38, verse 32. Can you lead forth a constellation in its season? How are you going to do that? On paper? Do you know the calculations? And guide the bear with her satellites? You know what the bear is? It's a constellation. The satellites are stars. He guides them. He knows every star that is in the sky. He knows what they were made for because he has made all things. Verse 33. Do you know, O Gentiles, children of Yasharel, Israelite brothers, Jews and Christians, the ordinances of the heavens? Hey, you know them now, don't you? I just showed them to you. Take this. Immerse yourself in it. It will make you powerful. Or can you fix their rule over the earth? Listen to this. Can you fix their rule over the earth? Why would you have to fix something? It's not broken. He's withheld the rain. He says that the moon will not appear in its proper time. The earth shall be backwards. Isn't that happening today? Job chapter 9, verse 7. Who commands the sun not to shine? Uh-oh. This is speaking of the coming of the Messiah. When the day that he comes, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light. Who sealed up the stars? His name is YAHUAH, our Aluah, the Great One. He who is seated upon the throne, and the train of his robes fills the temple with glory. Now you, O children of Yasharel, stop making a mockery out of yourself. Do not make any adjustments. Wait on him. Learn these equations. Come out from amongst the demons and the devils and come to the path of years. Hey, Brother Johnny, you're going to be a powerful man. You were able to make this adjustment. Only those whom the Father has called, and in your case, Brother Johnny, have chosen, can make this adjustment and walk away from the academics of the Gentiles. Remember, brothers and sisters, do not add to or take away from the book. Shalom.